All right. Yeah, this one of the things I wanted to kind of mention to everyone on this call before we jump into some of the coaching things is that 2026 began already. What do I mean by that? Well, the idea of starting the new year is not starting on January 1st or the first Monday. What's that first Monday? The 6th of January? Yeah, the first Monday is the 6th of January, 5th of January. So everyone's in their mind, they're going, okay, I'm going to get a good start. January, 2026 is going to be my year. Okay. And I totally get that. Um, but if you're thinking like you're going to start January 5th, just like anything else, when you start anything from a standing start from no momentum, let's say I was an agent, right? I was an agent. I am an agent, but I was like you when I got started, where, you know, December, it's like, okay, well, it's the holidays, you know, nobody's going to meet with me. I shouldn't, I don't, when I call the leads, not as many people are going to book. I'm going to get a higher no show. So I'm just going to take, the last 2 weeks of December off, like until I got corrected. Okay. When some of my best production weeks was between Christmas and New Year's. And this is the idea that if you can afford to take the holidays off, if you can afford to like take a break for the next 2 weeks, then by all means go ahead. Go ahead and take a break and not produce for your families and have the best Christmas ever, right? Because you're going to be with them. You're going to take a mental break and then okay, January 5th is when I'm going to get going. We're going to have an awesome New Year's and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is just my ramp up. I'm going to rest. I'm going to be energetic as soon as January 5th rolls around. Well, number one, that is such a loser mentality. Why do I say that? Because I've seen so many agents lose. Because when you start thinking about okay, let me restate it. Okay. It's not a good mentality to have thinking you're going to get started. Because really, I mean, let's think about it. You're going to start dialing on Monday, and it's like you haven't dialed in 3 weeks. And then it's like, oh man, I'm gonna study my scripts. I'm gonna get started January 6th. So January 6th is when I get started. I'm gonna practice my scripts and then I'll get started January 6th. So you get started January 6th and then you hit the funds again, but then you're getting some people mad at you. It's like, well, maybe starting the early part of the year, no one's in the mood to buy insurance. So maybe I'll wait until next week. So I'll study my products. I'll get contracted with a couple of carriers. And then really the 12th of January is when I'm going to get started. Okay. Then you start dialing on January 12th and maybe you'll book one or two appointments. It's like, okay, I'm going. So you show up to those appointments the next day and they're both no shows. It's like, oh man. Well, let me try again. So you can try again, same thing. So the next week is like a bust of a week because you're trying to gain momentum, a mental momentum where you can just sit down and dial the phone. You can't sit down and dial the phone because you're too nervous. You're just like, taking a breath all the time. You're just like freaking out a little bit. Okay. It takes you another 2 weeks. Well, NatCon comes up the third weekend. Let's say you're going to NatCon. I hope you do. It's like, okay, I'm going to get motivated at NatCon. I'm going to get my total motivation. So I'm going to come back from NatCon, I'm going to get going and I'm really going to get going. So you get back from NatCon, you start working on the 26th, and you've got all this extra belief and motivation. Now, notice it took you a whole month to get restarted. So basically, you lost a whole month in 2026. So if you're trying to qualify for the 2027 trip, which will be announced,
Wednesday at the TWC.
yeah, it'll be announced Wednesday. So you've lost a month already. You lost a month of mental um, momentum. You have zero momentum thinking you're going to get started. That's why really you should have started. We should have started talking about this the beginning of December. Because typically what happens if I start talking about the beginning of December, you're not going to decide to do anything until the middle of December. Now, look, yeah, holidays are here. So you're going to have to get more leads to book equal number of appointments. And the people that say, well, call me after the holidays, you got a whole bunch of leads that are you're going to call after the holidays. But you're going to get rid of the ones of those, and you're going to be left the ones that want to meet with you before the holidays. You know, some of the best time, like, when you start dealing with that holiday excuse, right? It's like, well, call me after the holiday. Okay, you know what? Absolutely, I can call you after the holidays. In fact, I hear that a lot. But let me ask you, what better Christmas gift can you give your family than the gift of life insurance? Can you guarantee you're going to remain alive for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What a great gift to give your family the gift of life insurance. Don't you think that that would be the most awesome gift you can give your family? Because if something happens to you on New Year's, you get hit by a drunk driver and you die and you don't have this in place, what kind of gift is that? Wouldn't it be better for you to have with the gift, give your family the gift of life insurance before the holidays? Hey, look, it's only going to be about 15, 20 minutes for you to make a decision. We can get it written up and probably get it issued within a couple, 3 days. I mean, we're talking about really quick. We have 55 of the top carriers in the country, and we've been issuing policies really quickly in December. Why? Because December is when insurance companies like to close out their books on all the policies. So they issue it really, really fast. So if we can get you into the big wave of getting policies issued, we could probably get it done by Christmas. Now, wouldn't that make better sense for you to just get out of the way? You can enter the holidays feeling good that you have this in place and not have to worry about it, when you start in January. Joe and Mary, does that make sense? It's only going to take about 15, 20 minutes. We can get this policy issued right quick. So, what is your driver's license or whatever, start to go into it. That has always worked for me. The gift of life insurance for Christmas, right? But here's the thing, if you never try, you're never going to get. You got to try. You got to get more leads. That lead investment is going to turn into money. But most importantly, it turns into personal momentum. Okay. Like I said, if you want to take the next 2 weeks off and you can afford to do it, then by all means do it. But if you can't afford to do it, look, you got Christmas Eve and Christmas. Those are 2 days, right? And then you got the end of New Year's Eve, which you probably aren't going to do business, which is what, 9 p.m. New Year's Eve. And then New Year's Day, people are watching football, good time to make dials. So you can book January 2nd, because January 2nd is a Saturday, right? Let me see. So January 6th is Saturday or a Friday. Then you got the 3rd and the 4th. Gang, seriously, I'm not kidding. You have every reason to do this. Now, okay, do you understand? At the beginning, I was giving the typical excuses why agents don't work over the holidays. Do you know that you working over the holidays, you're going to be standing out beyond any other agent because most loser agents will take a break. I'm not saying don't take a break. I'm just saying that if you can afford to, go ahead. But what? We're talking Christmas Eve, Christmas. Those are 2 days, you know, New Year's Day, 3 days. It doesn't have to be 14 days. Okay. Well, if you're just, you're making us work. I'm not making you do anything. What I'm trying to do is appeal to your bank account. Okay. Pretend I'm your bank account. And I'm telling you, feed me. I need deposits in my bank account. Okay. It's the best gift you can give your family is this momentum that you carry into January 2026. Because if you really want to make 2026 different than 2025, you're going to have to do something different this year. And if, for those of you that were agents last a year ago, you tell me, when did you get started pounding the phones and get started working January 2026? Let me guess, or 2025, probably January 2025. And you saw how that worked out for you, right? I'm just trying to appeal to my experience using my experience in the business for the last 25 years. I've seen it. I've watched it. I've watched the excuses, and then I've also watched the agents that took my advice and started pounding the phones the last part of December, working it all the way out. So they hit January with tremendous momentum that ain't no big thing, calling on January 2nd, a Friday, to book appointments, right, for, Friday or Saturday. Here's the other thing, too, that I want to announce. I know I was going to talk about our coaching, but a lot of stuff I needed to get out, so I may take this to the end. But so, um, Bang Bang, I met with John Davis at the Louisville boot camp, and Bang Bang has been getting tremendous success with AI booked, um, actually AI direct transfers. Alex, what's an AI direct transfer? So they have like 5 lines going out calling potential prospects, and it's an AI bot, right? And it's realistic. And then at the end of their reaching out to a client, they ask, would you like to speak to a licensed agent? When the client says, yes, I would like to, that leads goes direct to you. They ring you up and boom, you got a person that's already said, yes, they want to talk to you. So you are not dialing out, you're receiving calls. And when you log in, they have a way for them to know whether you're open to receive calls. Okay. Now, they would like you to be in 10 states so you can just fill your day up. The people have been doing great. Joseph Dukes, um, Erica Gold. Uh, there's like 5 or 6 agents that are kicking butt with this. They're just sitting there receiving calls, right? And it's apparently going very well. And what's the cost? So the cost is $750 for 20 direct transfers and 1250, right? Was 1250? Yeah, I think it was like, oh yeah, you weren't there. I'm sorry. It's 1250 for 50 direct transfers. Yeah, 1250 for, which is really cheap. Okay, really cheap. And then they have the scripts. They have the scripts that are working that agents are using. Some of the agents didn't start using the scripts because they thought they could close them, but then they started using the scripts. They started to close. Um,
Quick
okay,
question for you, Alex. Are
yeah,
those mostly final expense? Are they IULs or what
those are
are
all final expense.
gotcha. Okay.
So they're willing to take maybe 1 or 2 agents from me because they have not ramped it up to scale. They're still um, working with agents that want to start out because they're wanting to gather success stories, which they've already had. They've already had success stories. People that are just getting started and have been making 1 or 2, 3 sales a day, and not really they're not on the phone all day. But these are direct transfers. You're not on the phone booking appointments. The people are coming to you. Okay, and it's done with an AI bot. They've been getting some but it's the kind of thing where John said that it's real key for you to learn how to close on the first contact. It's real key. Now you could rebook, and then sometimes, so the other calls that the other lines are doing, if they do get someone but you're tied up, then it what they'll do is they'll try to book that person um, in the future or something. I forgot how all that worked, but it's done on an individual basis. And, like I said, it's working right now. So if you're interested in that program, let me know and I will determine whether or not, you know, I nominate you to try it out. But it sounds good. Um, Congrats to Pablo. I don't know if you announced it, but Pablo made Thailand. So congratulations to Pablo Troncoso. He's going to Thailand with us next year. When
Woohoo!
is that? It's in May.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's May.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Pablo. And then,
Woohoo! Way to
yeah,
go. Way to go.
good job,
Right
Pablo.
on. Thank you, man.
Is Pablo on here?
Right here, brother.
Oh, hey,
Yes,
man, there he is.
Pablo.
Hey, congratulations, dude. You fired up?
I'm fired up, man. I'm about to go to a whole nother country with you again.
I know, dude. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Well, by the way, we've been putting Thailand on. Um, I think didn't COVID so COVID in 2020, that was when we were supposed to go to Thailand. And then the next year, they decided not to do it because it's still crazy with COVID. And then this is the first opportunity for us to go back to Thailand. We never been to Thailand, but I mean, rebook the Thailand trip. So um, this is going to be crazy. All the stuff we're going to be able to do. So congratulations, Pablo. That is so awesome, dude. Proud of you, man.
Thank you, brother. Let's get Andreina to come with me. That's the goal.
That's the goal. That is the goal. Look, dude,
Thanks,
like
everyone.
what your mentality from earning this trip, earning the last year's, earning the trip to Cabo, uh, like all this stuff I'm talking about, getting started early so you can have the momentum in January. I mean, give me your thoughts on that.
No, man, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about that stuff probably last week, I think the beginning of last week, and I was like, it was so weird. I mean, it was, whatever the 6th or the 7th, and I'm thinking, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh crap, I am behind. I'm behind. And then I look up, and so I just got really anxious and just started getting to work. Um, and I think I've got like maybe 5 or 6 deals in the pipeline, and so I'm fired up now. But I was like, man, if I didn't like stop to think about that, because you're thinking about, oh, I gotta get this stuff set up for the house, and all the like holiday stuff starts to creep in, and then your clients are saying it, and you're just kind of mentally, and I had to like snap out of it because I'm like, no, I remember, guys in sales, it was like December was one of our biggest months because no one else was willing to do the work. And so if everyone else was going to take a break and not help, these clients, there's the same amount of business that's out there. It's just not as many agents that are willing to do it. So yeah, I appreciate the reminder tonight for sure.
Yeah, it's so important for everyone to remember that your clients are in such a laid back, cheerful holiday mood. And so that's an advantage. Now here's the thing. Pablo's got so far this month 83,401.47 issue paid premium on 4 applications. The month before he had something like this about 89,000 or something like that in November, 92,000. Okay. And then he's at 83,000 this month already. And most agents say, I made my money for December. I'm just going to cruise the rest of December. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is when you pour the gas on because you already got your momentum moving into 2026. All the deals that you're putting in together right now will probably move into January anyway, especially with some of the large cases that you're doing. But who cares? Because whatever you have going on your momentum will move you into January with tremendous momentum. You can't stop it. It's like this is where you pour the gas on. It's like anybody who has ever, you know, had that idea of I'm going to take a break because I did so well. always regrets that they didn't put the work in when they could. Why? Here's what happens sometimes. I'm not speaking this to Pablo, but some of the agents that think they got December licked, they'll go into January and they're going to get some chargebacks they weren't expecting. And all of a sudden, because they took a break in December, all the money they thought they were going to get gets taken away in chargebacks, and they're at zero. And it's going to take them 2 weeks to get ramped up again, writing business to cover the chargebacks as well as get on the positive side with money coming in. And always they will regret taking a break. Now, I'm not saying you can't take breaks. Okay, don't get me wrong. You earn your breaks when you've gotten so far ahead that you can take a week off and go to Thailand, right? Or you can take a week off for Christmas because you worked your butt off until that week. But then after that Christmas week's done, you're hitting it, up through New Year's. Like I've done New Year's Day appointments. In fact, I've done New Year's Eve appointments, right? It's in your head. I promise you, it's in your head that you think you can't do it. That's why sometimes I tell people all the time, get ready to get more leads in December so you can book the same amount of appointments, right? Do you think we're stopping recruiting? Like we're recruiting all the way dadgummit through December. And we're not going to take a break, right? Because there are people that are they're taking a break for the holidays to reevaluate what they want to do in 2026. So we're going to be there ready for them when they're
Yep.
looking to change their situation.
Hey,
Right.
and Alex, can I just say the
Please.
people that are saying yes to the sales, like to wanting to meet with us for an appointment, and also the people that are saying yes to wanting to have a recruiting appointment interview with us, not one of them mentioned, oh, well, I don't know, maybe we can hold on. Like they're like, let's do it now. So why would I be the one that's like, oh, well, you want to just schedule it for January? It's like, no way. And remember what happened last year? Guys, I mean, all those things that you talked about that might come up, right? The chargebacks or, and now you got to make up for. But what about when our lead departments go through whatever hiccups they're going to go through? And your leads that you thought you were going to get don't come. And that's exactly, and I got hit with that for a whole quarter.
Yeah, that's
And you
right.
better believe I was regretting not going harder in November, December of the previous year.
Yeah,
So,
that you reminded me that it was one of those you put all your eggs in one basket, right? And all of a sudden that lead source just shuts down for a temporary period of time. But what are you going to do? You know, Here's what's interesting, and Pablo's one of the first agents to experiment with the AI booked preset licensed agent appointments. And I found out, Pablo, they're using PropHog as their source for doing the AI booked appointments. And we had was it Yvonne or that showed up to our hotspot meeting that was booked by that AI bot,
oh,
right?
Zayon, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Zayon.
He's on.
Zayon,
He's
he
on this
got
call.
booked.
He's on this call.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
What's up,
Zayon.
Alex?
Hey, dude, how you doing?
Pretty good. Feeling
So,
pretty fired up with everything.
so tell us what you said to us when I asked you, what'd you think about that AI bot that booked you on Pablo's schedule?
It was terrifyingly realistic to say the least. I mean, if it didn't, I said it in verbatim, if it didn't address itself as an AI bot, I wouldn't have known it was an AI bot. It was that impressive.
And you asked it, and you kind of asked questions that you thought would throw it off, right?
Yeah, like threw some curveballs, but it still answered everything very accurately.
So the AI booked appointments are getting better and better, gang. And that's an opportunity for those of you out there who have been thinking about building a business. You got a great opportunity with some things that are coming out. I'm so excited about they're really working out the kinks on the AI bot booked appointments for sales, booked appointments for recruiting. Basically, what the Alliance has done is kind of created a technology platform that you guys can go out there and operate in a turnkey fashion to go find the people that want life insurance, people that want to join a business to make extra money. It's there for you, right? So, look, I know I'm going a little bit longer, but I think it merits me to encourage you, take advantage of the opportunity, but do it now. Don't wait. Don't wait for next year. The next year just started, okay? As of this call, 2026, baby, January 26 has started. So, man, if you want to be in a position like Pablo is of running the next trip in 2027, let's get your, you know, rusty dusty off the bench and let's go get into the game and let's get this party started because we're here to support you. We're here to help you. I'm here to help you get your minds right. I was going to talk about the exercises. Here's what I would ask you to do is really revisit those exercises I gave out in those last two videos. The life satisfaction circle, really do that one. And then your values. What we're going to talk about Thursday is we're going to go into you talking about your values. I'm going to have people, I'm not going to have you show your satisfaction. I'm going to talk about that generically, but I want some people to share, what are some of your values that you're trying to satisfy? And then I'm going to give you a way to rack and stack them and give you kind of point you in the right direction on how to make that effective for you. And so I would ask you, why don't we meld both things, your values and getting your business started now so that January 2026 you hit with tremendous momentum. All right, gang. So appreciate. Oh yeah. We've got two more $99 NatCon tickets. We only have two left. And so first come, first serve, let us know right away. Really
Qualify for those tickets, though. It has to be their first or second.
your first or second event.
Yeah.
Okay. It's got to be your first or second event to get those $99 tickets to NatCon in Dallas, 2026, 23rd through the 25th. By the way, ticket prices going to Dallas at that time are super cheap. I think if you go on right now and look, I don't care where you are in the country, it's running about 250-ish, So consider, get your ticket so you can get your ticket right away. And then the $99 tickets are available, two of them. Okay. So anyway, thanks everybody. Appreciate y'all being on this call. Thanks for letting me yap at you. And look, I'm really want to encourage you. Like, trust me, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm here saying that the bridge is out. The bridge is out. Don't proceed forward with this loser thought process because you're going to lose with that thought process. I'm like waving the flag. Don't go any further. You're going to go off the cliff because the bridge is out. Okay, let's get back on the road, right? Road to success. Okay, gang. God bless, man. Take care. Appreciate y'all. Let's rock this thing. Take care.
Thank you.